Hi there, Billy Angel here, your storyteller, and I have a great story for you today. In fact, we're in a series, the story of Samson and Samuel. Today is part 6. Samson is on his way to Gaza. Gaza? Isn't that a Philistine city? Yeah, it is. Gaza is one of the many Philistine cities on the west coast of what is now called Israel. And Gaza is the city furthest to the south, quite a long distance from where Samson lives. And he is on his way there. Further south there is the Negev desert, huge desert. On the other side of that is Egypt. Why would Samson go to Gaza? Isn't that a very risky thing to do? You know, he's a Hebrew. Gaza, the Philistines hate the Hebrews. In fact, Samson is the Hebrew leader. He is the judge. He's been the Hebrew judge for the last 20 years, ever since he killed 1,000 Philistine soldiers in one day. He became the Hebrew leader. Yeah, he was famous among all 12 tribes and infamous with the Philistines. You see, the Philistines have always wanted to take all the Hebrew territory and turn the Hebrews into their slaves. They think, yeah, these Hebrews, they make good slaves. Yesterday they were slaves in Egypt. Today they can be slaves to us. Yeah, that's the Philistines for you. And then there was a big battle 20 years ago, and the Philistines just destroyed the Hebrew army. 30,000 soldiers killed in one day. I mean, it was a major disaster, major setback for the Hebrews. They thought, this is it. Now the Philistines will invade. It's the end of the promised land. And then Samson happened. This one Hebrew with this enormous physical power never lost a fight, never lost a battle. And the climax was that he killed 1,000 Philistine soldiers. Well, when that happened, you can imagine the Philistine army leaders, you know, the top brass, they were having a discussion. Well, this is just ridiculous. One Hebrew killing 1,000 soldiers. We got to get rid of that man. Let's send 10,000 soldiers onto him. But others saying, hang on. You got to be a little careful here now. Do you remember how when we beat that Hebrew army, you know, they had brought their ark, they call it the Ark of the Covenant. They brought that into the battle. We beat them, we took their ark, and we put it in our own temple, right by the feet of Dagon. You know, Dagon, large statue. And then, you remember what happened? Dagon fell over in the night, like he was bowing to the Hebrew ark. My dear. So they got Dagon back on his feet. The next night, Dagon had fallen over again. His head had broken off. And then all of a sudden, the plague broke out. People were getting sick. They were dying left, right, and center. You remember. It was just horrendous. And we began to understand the Hebrew God was not pleased with us for taking that ark. And in the end, we had to give the ark back to the Hebrews, which we did. And with it, we gave them a huge amount of gold, you know, as a sort of a guilt offering. And indeed, once that was done, the plague lifted and people stopped dying in these large numbers. You see, if you fight this Samson man, you probably find yourself fighting his God, the God of the Hebrews, and he is invincible. You do not want to provoke him. And so they decided to just leave Samson to it and not touch the Hebrews for a time and just, you know, keep their distance. All because of Samson and his God. But Samson is not happy. No, Samson is not happy. While he's on his way to Gaza, he's thinking about it. The Hebrews are still scared of the Philistines. They got beaten so badly. They don't want to fight the Philistines, and that is not good enough. The Philistines are encroaching on our land all the time. Isn't that right? They are taking our land, they're taking our farms. Now they're beginning to take entire villages. Before soon it'll be towns. They can't help themselves. They're just encroaching. They're all around us. And yes, we all know they are They are superior to us. They know how to make metal. Their army is bigger and stronger. They have swords and daggers. They even have these metal carts, the chariots that take into battle. I mean, they're invincible. Their army is hugely powerful. Us Hebrews were just still with sticks and stones. My, what are we going to do? We have to break away from the Philistine, break out of this stronghold. And so, because the Hebrews have no stomach for a fight, Samson thinks he's going to check on Gaza and the army, the Philistine army that is based there in Gaza. See if there's a weakness. Perhaps we can take a special unit there and attack them. Imagine, we set fire to their barracks, we kill their horses, we destroy their arms, we set them back by about 5 years. We can do that. And so this is why Samson had gotten up really early this morning, and he's made his way all the way to Gaza. And then when he gets there, he walks around the city. Gaza has a wall all the way around, and there's a road around the wall, and there's lots of people there. There's traffic, people walking in all directions. There are 4 gates, north, east, south, and west. So people come out of Gaza, go into Gaza. And Samson is just blending with all those people, looking at the city walls, looking for spots where they could possibly break in. If he brings a special unit here in the night, he's looking at the army barracks, their buildings, and he's just making mental notes of how it's all laid out and what they can do. Then he realizes it's time to go inside. Yeah, it's risky, but I got to look inside and see what kind of buildings there are there, the barracks, the walls. So he goes inside, there's guards there, lots of people. It's busy in the city. And he spends a few hours walking around, checking on the buildings, the army barracks, and how that links with the city walls. And he sees certain spots where they could possibly break in and climb the wall and get inside, set fire to this place, destroy it. And so he's going around. There's markets here. There's lots of people, all kinds of things. A busy, big city. Then all of a sudden he notices he's being followed. Oh dear, he's being followed, so he's got to go quick. There's lots of little streets. He turns around, takes a left, takes a right. He's got to get out quickly, hide from, and he realizes he's got to go inside somewhere. There's a door there. He goes inside the door, closes the door. He's in the chambers of a prostitute. Hello. Yes. Are you available? And I'm here to spend the night, if that's okay. Yes. Thank you. Hungry? Yes. Oh, that's great. Yeah, I'll take a seat. Thank you. Then you can hear the noise in the streets. There's soldiers running around. There's voices. Oh, my. If they come in, it's going to be a massive fight. I mean, whoa, I'd have to fight like 10,000 soldiers. Oh God, please, not now, not now. But then it calms down, and it seems to be okay. So he takes a seat, and there's a meal for him. Now, you might say to me, hang on, Billy, is this really the story that Scripture gives us? Don't read anything about the Philistine army. Well, you see, the thing is, the Philistine army is based in Gaza. Would Samson really make his way all the way to Gaza? That's a long distance from his place, just to visit a prostitute. I mean, he's been a judge for 20 years, no news about any such action, and now he goes to Gaza. You think he was going there just to see a prostitute? I don't think so. But you might say, well, in one of the verses it says Samson is in bed with a prostitute. What are we going to do with that? Yeah, all right, you have a point there. Maybe he did make a choice to see a prostitute. Could be. All right, let's rerun a little bit of the story and we'll bring that into it. Let's see what happens. So Samson is inside the city. He's checking the buildings, the city walls. He's looking at the army barracks. He's checking it all out, making mental notes. Oh, then he stumbles on the markets. Yeah, lots of market here, lots of sales going on, very busy people here, people selling, people buying. And then all of a sudden he stumbles on prostitutes. Oh, wow, look at that. I guess this is their area. There's dozens of prostitutes standing there. Wow, some of these Philistine women are so beautiful. Oh, look at her. She is amazing, looking so beautiful. Anyway, back to the job, looking at buildings, looking at places where the army could break in. Then a thought strikes him. What if I visit a prostitute tonight? I mean, I'm ready for a meal, ready for a sit down, ready for a sleep. Whoa, my, that would just be amazing. Hang on now. I'm a Nazarite. I've never touched any wine, any alcohol, never touched any unclean food. No, I can't be seeing a prostitute either. Then again, a man has got to see a woman sometimes. And here they are. Whoa, just there, beautiful. What shall I do? Yes? No? Yes? No? Yes. Hello, are you available? Yeah, I'll follow you. Okay, this way? Yeah? Over here? Okay, thank you. And so they go into her chambers. Are you hungry? Yeah, I could do with a bite. Take a seat. And so there he is, visiting a prostitute. I'm not so sure. Is that what happened? We don't really know. It's up to you. Noise in the street. Soldiers. What's going on? Whoa. Better be hiding. I don't want to fight now. That'd be too much trouble fighting the whole city. Oh God, please, no. Now it goes quiet. I'll tell you what happened. The commander of the army, he hears that the Hebrew leader, this Samson character, is possibly in town. He's been spotted. And so the army is looking for him, and they figured he must be in the area where the prostitutes are. But then the commander realizes, no, if we go in there now, he's expecting us, it's going to be a bloodbath. This man is going to kill thousands. No, we'll wait. Let him see the prostitute. She'll feed him, she'll spend time with him, he'll fall asleep. We'll get him when he's in a fast, deep sleep. Maybe, first light, that's the time to go in. Everybody stand down. And so it's gone quiet. Samson has a meal. He spends time with the prostitute. He falls asleep, has a wonderful deep rest. And then he wakes up. It's in the middle of the night. Okay, it's time to get out. So he gets himself ready. He sneaks out the door. In the street, lots of soldiers there, all sleeping. He heads for the city gate. Lots of soldiers there too, all kinds of people. They're all sleeping. Now, the gates are completely locked. Big, heavy gates. But no problem for Samson. He grabs a bar at the bottom of the gates. Oh God, give me strength, give me strength. And then the energy, the electricity from heaven begins to stream through his body. And he's lifting those gates, lifting, and they slowly come up 2 gates together with a post. He's lifting them right out of the wall, and then he walks forward, holding the gates, walking them away from the wall. Now there's a hill there, and he's climbing the hill, taking these 2 gates all the way to the top of the hill, and there he just throws them. Whoa. And he looks down, and there's Gaza, down below there. There's the wall, and there's a hole in the wall where this gate once was. And over there, there's Hebron, the beautiful town of Hebron. Whoa, and then it's time for Samson to make his way home. So he goes home. Then something unusual happens. He knocks on the door of someone who lives in the next village. Someone who's similar age, someone who's also important to the Hebrews. Samson, what brings you here? Come on in. Samuel, I got to see you, talk to you. Something's going to happen. Something's going to break. Something's going to shift, don't you think? What are you talking about, Samson? Shift, break? Did something happen? Did I miss something? How are you? I'm all right. I've been to Gaza to spy on the Philistine army and the city. I think we could form a special unit, attack them there, right in their headquarters, set fire to their buildings, destroy the army right there. Something's got to break, Samuel. I've been a leader now for, 20 years, and I'm tired of it. This stalemate, the Philistines leaning in on us all the time, stealing villages, stealing towns, stealing ground, stealing the harvest. You know, they're just waiting for me to disappear. The moment I go, they will invade the whole of the land, because the Hebrews do not have a stomach for a fight. They're scared. They've never forgotten how we lost that battle, 20 years ago. And the trouble is, I cannot fight the whole Philistine army just by myself, can I? So what do we do? What can you do? Oh, Samson. It's got to be an act of God to bring us out of this difficult situation. But you know how the Hebrews have turned their backs on the God of Moses. They're running after all these idols. They brought the idols into their homes. They are all over the place. And that, I think, is the problem. Our God is our strength, don't you think? Absolutely. Our God, the God of Moses, He is the source of my strength. And, of course, the source of your inspiration. But what about the Hebrews? How come they don't get that? Why don't you, tell them, teach them, get them to understand something is going to break, Samuel. Something is going to move. Oh, you're so right. But, these things are down to God's timing. I go around all the time. I preach, I speak, I teach, and there are people who are listening, but there's other people, they are still all over the place. Samson, you just got to hold your horses. Just stay calm. Keep listening to what heaven says. Don't you think? Oh, man, yeah, I've been listening for 20 years. I've had enough. I'm running out of steam. I'm going to do something if it's my last act. But we got to have breakthrough. What do you mean last act? What are you preparing something? Are you planning something? Samson, just calm down. Take it easy. God will make the difference. He will do what He's going to do. Oh yeah, wise words from a prophet. But I'm the muscle man. I'm the fighter. I'm the leader. Something's going to break, and if it's my last act, so be it. Well, it's nice talking to you, Samuel. Nice talking to you. And he's off. Now, Scripture tells us that Samson begins to develop a relationship with a woman who lives in the valley of Sorek, it says. And there's a river, the Sorek River. And that area is just on the border between Philistine and Hebrew territory. It doesn't tell us whether she's a Hebrew or a Philistine, but I think it is safe to say she probably is a Philistine. Samson does have a weak spot for beautiful Philistine women. And this woman has got a beautiful name. Her name is Delilah. Yeah, Delilah. And she is delightful, beautiful. She's very beautiful. And so he goes to see her regularly, and he visits her in her home. Hi there, Delilah. Hey there, how are you today? I think I will stay. Hi there, Delilah. Yeah, and she knows just how to love on him and how hug him and kiss him and feed him and lead him astray. Da-da-da-dum, da-da-da-do-dee, da-da-da-dum, da-da-da-dee. Oh, and she builds him up. You're so beautiful, you're so powerful, you're this, you're that. And he just falls into it like he's butter in her hands. Now, as soon as the Philistine leaders, the leaders of the towns there, hear about the fact that the Hebrew leader, Samson, is seeing Delilah, they go visit her and offer her large sums of money if only she can get to the secret of his strength. If you can get that for us so we can subdue him, after all, he's a dangerous man to us. This is all the gold you will be receiving. You can live wherever you like. You can buy yourself a mansion. You are settled for the rest of your life. And she accepts. She's willing to betray her new friend. And so when Samson visits again, she goes to work, loving on him and kissing him and cuddling him and feeding him and leading him astray. How are you, Samson? Oh, you are so this and you are so that. Now, if you love me, Samson, tell me, what is the secret of your power? So amazing. You are so strong. How come? Well, yeah. Only my parents know, and they are no longer alive. So nobody knows. Yeah. No, I can't tell you. That is just true. That is between God and I and myself, sorry. Oh, but Samson, if you love me, you will tell me, tell me the secret. It's safe with me, and I love you, you love me. And she goes on nagging and nagging and nagging. And then he goes, okay. Well, if you tie me up with 7 bowstring strings, the strings you use on a bow and arrow, those strings, they're powerful strings, 7 of them, you tie me up with those, I will be as weak as any man. So the visit continues. Eventually Samson goes home and she speaks to her bosses and they bring 7 strings for his next visit. And there he is, Samson, and she loves on him and she cuddles him and she feeds him and she leads him astray and all of this, that, and the other. He falls asleep. She ties him up with the 7 strings and then she goes, Samson, the Philistines are here. He stands up. Hey, what's going on? And he's already broken the strings like they're paper. What's this? You actually tied me up with bowstrings? Look at that. Oh, come on now. You thought I was talking for real, right? And she is upset. Oh, you cheat on me. You lead me astray. You're making fun of me. If you love me, Samson, you're going to tell me. Tell me what's the secret of your power. And she goes on nagging and nagging and nagging, a few visits. And eventually he goes, all right, oh, okay, I'll tell you. You tie me up with 7 brand new ropes and I shall be as weak as any man. So ropes are being brought. Next time Samson stops by, she feeds him, leads him, loves on him, and all of that, and da-da-da. He falls asleep. She ties him up to 7 ropes. Then she goes, Samson, the Philistines are here. He gets up, he breaks the ropes. No Philistines, and the ropes are already on the floor. Oh, come on now, not again. I was only joking. Well, she's not pleased, she's not laughing. She's upset, and she nags and nags. Well, if you love me, you tell me. Don't tell me fibs. Tell me the truth of your secret. I love you. If we are one, and da-da-da. Well, eventually she says, okay, I'll tell you what. If you take the 7 beads of my hair and weave them into the fabric on your loom, your big loom there, and you lock it with a shuttle, I shall be as weak as any man. So next time he visits, she loves on him, she kisses him, she cuddles him, she feeds him, she leads him, she does all of her tricks and treats, and he falls asleep. And then she takes her shuttle, she takes her fabric and weaves the beads into the fabric on her loom. and shuts it with a shuttle. Then she goes, Samson, Samson, the Philistines are here. He goes, what? Oh, he sees the shuttle, he opens it up, he whips his hair out of that loom. What are you doing now? Come on now. That is just a little too much. Stop playing these games with me. Please don't tie me up with nothing, okay? And she is upset and he is upset. And for a little while they're not talking to each other. And he's out the door, he goes home. But you know, he keeps thinking of her. She's beautiful. He loves her. Could it be that heaven is orchestrating yet another occasion for Samson to really stand up to the Philistines? That could well be the case. So, next time he visits her, she nags him some more, and she goes on and on and on, and eventually he's had enough. He's all worn down by her. And he says, okay, I'll tell you. I've been a Nazarite from birth. I've never touched any alcohol or unclean food. My hair has never been cut. I have a contract and an understanding, an agreement with the God of the Hebrews. He gives me my strength. And I follow this lifestyle. But if my hair were to be cut, I'd be as weak as any man. Please, don't act on it. Don't tell nobody. It's a secret between us because we are so close. Is that right? And she says, yes, of course. I won't tell anybody. And as soon as he's out the door, she contacts the leaders of the towns. Yes, come on over. This time it's for real. Bring your gold. And they do. They bring their gold. They bring a whole bunch of soldiers who'll be hiding in the room next door. And they know now is the time things are going to happen. And so when Samson visits again, she loves on him, she treats him, leads him, feeds him, kisses him, all the stuff she does, her treats and everything else. And eventually he falls asleep in her lap. Then a barber is brought in and he cuts the 7 braids, he shaves the whole of Samson's head. All the hair is gone. Then she goes, Samson, the Philistines are here. He gets up, what's going on? Soldiers are coming in, Philistine soldiers. He thinks, all right, I'll grab these soldiers, I'll fling them across the room, I'll kill them all. And one soldier grabs Samson by the arm, but he can't fling the soldier. Another soldier grabs him by the other arm, he can't fling him. Another soldier is on his back, he can't seem to shake the soldier, and they're forcing him down to the ground. And he realizes the Spirit of God has left him. He's got no power at all. He is as weak as any man. And just 3 soldiers force him down to the ground. And then a terrible thing happens. They come to him and they gouge out his eyes, both his eyes gone. Oh! And Samson loses his eyesight from that moment, loses his power, loses his position. He is now a little person, a nobody, powerless in the hands of the Philistines. And so they take him to Gaza, the city where the army is based, where Samson has been. They lock him up in special military prison. There he is. And they make him work on this treadmill. There he is, like a horse, going around all day long, doing the treadmill work for the grain. And he goes round all day. No eyesight, no power, no joy, nothing left. But Scripture tells us his hair is beginning to grow back. And in his heart, Samson is praying, oh God, forgive me. Oh God, come to me. Oh God, don't desert me. Oh God of Moses, remember me. I am still your man. Now the Hebrews hear about this terrible loss of their leader and how he's been treated by the Philistines. It's clear the Philistines will kill him any day now, and then they'll invade all of the Hebrew territory. This is the end of the promised land. It's just deadly silent in the whole of the country. Nobody knows what to do. They're all waiting for something terrible to happen next. But the Philistines, before they invade, want to throw a party. They want to say thank you to their God for delivering Samson to them, and they want to have a big celebration. Now, they do that in Ashdod, the town of Ashdod, where there's a huge temple building, and there the statue of Dagon stands there tall. And so the party goes on. There's thousands of people in the building. The building is so large, there's thousands of people on the roof even. And there's a statue of Dagon, tall, standing in the middle. And they say that thanks to the statue. And then it's party time. They are drinking and eating and feasting and dancing and shouting and screaming. And of course, then Samson is being brought in. Bring him in so we can celebrate. We can have a good laugh. He can entertain us. And so Samson is being brought in by a boy who leads the blind man right into the temple. And the people are cheering, and the people are making a noise. They are shouting. They are mocking him. They are making fun of him. They are throwing food at him. But Samson is very still on the inside. And he's listening to his God. And he says to the boy, take me to the pillars in the middle, the big ones, so I can lean a little and rest up a little bit. And so the boy does. And there's Samson in the middle of the temple, and there's two large pillars there, the main pillars that hold the roof structure. And then Samson says, oh God, God of Moses, my God, forgive me for my wrongdoing. I've lost my eyesight, but I've gained insight. You are the source of my strength. You are the future for the Hebrews. I ask, give me strength once more. Give me my power once more so I can pay them back, these Philistines, for destroying my eyesight, and I can set the Hebrews free from their oppression. And then electricity begins to go right through his body. He can feel it. His whole body is shaking. The muscles are reviving. There's enormous power coming back to him. He takes the two pillars and he starts pushing. Now he's never done anything like this before. He pushes and pushes with all the strength he can muster. And the pillars begin to bend. The pillars break. And eventually the pillars fall over. And the entire structure begins to collapse. Huge beams, large blocks of stone, the statue of Dagon, everything comes crashing down. All the people who are on the roof come crashing down onto the people who are down below. It's a huge crash. This whole building comes crashing down. Samson is right in there, and everybody dies in the collapse. Samson's family hear what has happened. They make their way to Ashdod, and they start digging into the rubble to look for him. They find him and pull him out of the ruins. They take his dead body back to where he lived, where he grew up, where he spent his years as a judge. And they bury him next to his parents. It's a time of mourning. Now the Hebrews really have lost their leader. It seems they have lost all hope. The Philistines will probably invade tomorrow. But that's not what the story gives us. And there's one man who knows that there's something else coming. Samuel. He remembers the conversation he had with Samson not too long ago. Samuel understands. Now is the time. Now is the time to rise. This is God's moment. This is the moment where heaven will perform a miracle. The heavens will set the Hebrews free from the Philistines. And so Samson starts to visit the various villages and towns like he's done all these years, where he goes to speak and teach and all that. And he arrives at the marketplace and he says, everybody gather, everybody listen here. You know who I am. I'm Samuel, your priest and your prophet. Now listen here. We are going to have a large gathering for all the Hebrews at Mizpah in 3 days from now, and I'm calling you all to come to Mizpah in 3 days. We're going to ask our God to be our God again, to take us, to receive us as His people, and to perform a miracle so we can be free from Philistine oppression. Come to Mizpah in 3 days. Spread the word, spread the word. And so he travels all around over those 3 days to call people together. And 3 days later, thousands of Hebrews gather at Mizpah. The name Mizpah says high place, like a tower. And really, if you go to Mizpah, you can look all the way around and see the Hebrew land all the way around. And then Samuel speaks on behalf of the people, says prayers to God, and asks for forgiveness of the Hebrews turning their backs on their God, and calling the people to come back, to repent, to throw away their idols, and to focus on the God of Moses. He will be our God, and we will be His people. And so the people spend a full day fasting and praying and pleading with God for a breakthrough. Well, the Philistines hear about this. The Hebrews are all having a massive gathering there in Mizpah, right in the middle of the territory. We got to stop them. What are they up to? What are they going to do next? And so whoever is in leadership next, I mean, there's been all kinds of conflicts over who the next leader would be. The Philistines are in disarray, but still, the army is heading for Mizpah. The army is going to kill whoever they can. It's going to be a bloodbath, and then the Philistines will take all of the Hebrew land, and they will possess it forever. Well, when Samuel hears that the Philistine army is on his way, he realizes this is really desperate. This is beyond us. The people want to panic, but he says, no panic. Don't let fear get hold of you now. We have just asked God to be our God indeed. Well, He is a God of great strength and great power. And when there's nothing we can do, there's still something He can do. Oh God, Samuel pleads, deliver us from the Philistines. Stop that army, please. We ask of you. And that prayer is heard and responded to by heaven. And all of a sudden there is brewing in the skies, there is wind, there's clouds, there's a heavy thunderstorm developing. And right over the area where the Philistine army is, there is a huge thunderstorm that just breaks loose. Lightning strikes them. Lightning, the heavy rain, heavy wind, even hailstorm come crashing down on the Philistine army. It is so severe, they cannot keep going. They just have to spread out. They're all looking for cover. Some of them run back to their hometowns. Well, when Samuel hears about this, he gives the command to all Hebrew men, go after that army. Without fear in your heart, we have the victory. Just take that army out now, once and for all. And so all Hebrew men just go for the Philistine army. And that day, the Philistine army gets destroyed by the Hebrew men. And all they have is their bare fists. And it's the end of Philistine oppression. And it's the end of the fear in the hearts of the Hebrews. Well, Scripture tells us that for the rest of Samuel's lifetime, the Philistines never set foot on Hebrew territory again. Samuel is now the official leader of the Hebrews. He is their new judge, as well as their priest and their prophet. And Scripture tells us throughout the rest of Samuel's lifetime, there is peace and prosperity in the land. And that was the story of Samson and Samuel.